Well, welcome back to our deep dive. So let's talk about a quiet but really heavy tension you might be feeling right now.
Yeah, that undeniable stirring tug toward public service.
Right, exactly. It starts as this clear feeling, but then it's almost immediately followed by a huge wave of paralyzing self-doubt.
Oh, yeah. The classic imposter syndrome creeping in.
Yes. The question's like, did I hear that right? And am I really cut out for this? So today we are answering the question, how do I know if I'm supposed to run for office?
And our mission today, as we look into these Faith Flow Campaign Series resources, is really to just cut through all the modern political noise.
Yeah, to find some steady, grounded clarity.
Exactly. And, that begins by dismantling a deeply ingrained cultural lie. We were always told that to run for office, you just have to be the loudest person in the room,
Right, like incredibly polished or aggressively confident.
or just flawlessly qualified on paper. But well, these guides reveal a much quieter truth.
But hold on a second, doesn't a community actually need a confident leader? I mean, especially today, the political arena is vicious. It's basically a meat grinder. If you step up to a podium and act insecure, aren't voters just going to pick the loud, polished person anyway?
It is a fair question.
Uh,
But, it assumes that volume equals effectiveness.
okay, how do you mean?
Well, think of it this way. The polished politician is often like a megaphone. They're just loud.
Right, just making noise.
Yeah. But the reluctant, burdened leader is more like a tuning fork. When you strike a tuning fork with a genuine, authentic conviction, the whole community resonates with it.
Wow, that is a great way to put it.
And when we look at leadership through a faith-based lens, God frequently chooses the reluctant. Not because they possess overwhelming self-confidence, but really because they are dependent.
Okay, I see what you mean about the tuning fork, but how does that actually play out in these materials?
Well, look at the biblical grounding provided in the guides. Specifically, they point to the story of Moses in Exodus chapters 3 and 4.
Oh, right, the burning bush.
Yes, exactly. When Moses is called, he doesn't confidently step up and say, I am your guy. He is actually terrified.
He literally begs God to send someone else, right?
He does. He rattles off a whole list of insecurities and points out that he is, not a good speaker.
Which makes perfect sense. I mean, if you're going to lead a nation, public speaking seems like a minimum requirement.
It does. But God's response is the key here. He doesn't dismiss the very real danger of the task.
And he doesn't just magically give Moses a slick political persona either.
Right. His reassurance is incredibly simple. He just says, I will be with you. God calls the willing, not just the polished.
That is such a grounded perspective. But for someone listening right now staring at a blank filing deadline form, how do they actually formulate a message without feeling like a fraud?
Yeah, how do we move from biblical theory to modern reality?
Exactly.
Well, that is exactly why the Call to Clarity Guide includes tactical blueprints. It is not just about giving you a warm feeling.
Right, you need practical steps to actually do this.
Exactly. It provides a tool to survive that political meat grinder without losing your soul. Specifically, they use the 3-part message practice grid.
Oh yes, the anchor, apply, affirm framework. But how does that actually work in real life?
Let's just use an example.
Okay, say I am deeply passionate about improving local schools, but I am terrified of public speaking. I don't want to sound like a politician. How do I use this grid?
Well, you start with the anchor. You anchor your answer in a deeply held core value. So maybe that value is community safety, or every child deserves a strong foundation.
Okay, so I am not memorizing a catchy slogan. I am just stating what I actually believe.
Precisely. And then you apply it. This is where you connect that core value to a specific policy or action.
Like saying, because I believe in community safety, I am advocating for better crosswalks at local elementary schools.
You got it. Value first, then the practical policy.
So what about the affirm part?
You affirm it by bringing it back to your unwavering stance. You look the voter in the eye and say, and as long as I am on this school board, I will not back down on protecting our kids.
Wow. I mean, that completely takes the pressure off of acting like a politician.
It really does. It turns communication into a simple formula for truth-telling.
You are basically just organizing the conviction you already carry.
Exactly. That is how you hold the tuning fork. It gives you a steady rhythm when imposter syndrome tries to creep back in.
And the reminder here is that stepping out into public service doesn't mean you are stepping out alone.
Definitely not.
Just to note, the candidate starter kit we have been referencing is completely free over at faithflowrootedministry.org. to get you started.
Yes, and their companion flipbook is an incredible resource to explore these concepts even further.
It really is all about taking that first quiet step with peace rather than panic.
Absolutely. Peace over panic.
Well, we will leave you with one final grounding reflection to mull over today.
Think back to that paralyzing self-doubt we talked about at the very beginning.
Right. What if the very insecurity making you hesitate right now is the exact humility your community desperately needs in its next leader?